Hi, it's Friday, December 10th, and I'm Mark Friedman, just an American citizen. Another beautiful day in our great country, and it's still great. A sad day, though. No notes, no sense, and please subscribe. Today, Michael Nesmith died. Michael Nesmith of the Monkees. Michael Nesmith of his own thing, because he was a cutting-edge artist all the way through. But I loved him starting with the Monkees and going on forward. There's Mike. Mike just passed. Peter Tork passed earlier. Davy Jones died earlier, and Mickey Dolenz is still around. Circus Boy, or whatever they called him when he was on TV. Michael Nesmith was, as I told you, a groundbreaker. He starts off, the Monkees, as you all know, as I assume most people know, they came on their TV. They were made for TV, the Beatles for the TV. But they were there like in 66, 67, 68, right when psychedelia was starting to come in. Remember, the Summer of Love, 1967, Monterey. I always tell you, the greatest festival of all time. Well, they came out and they just took TV by storm. And their music, they weren't instrumentalists. Peter Tork could play some, and Mike could play some. They're both pretty good. The other two were not instrumentalists. But this group came in and they had music was given to them by some of the best writers around. Look at some of the music on here. This was more than Monkees, their second album. But on here you have Hold On, I'm sorry, Your Auntie Griselda, Mary, Mary, I'm Not Your Stepping Stone, Sometime in the Morning, I'm a Believer, Look Out, Here Comes Tomorrow, the Monkees. I love the Monkees. I don't care if you didn't love the Monkees. I love the Monkees, and that music was great. But let's tell you a little bit more about Mike before we get into the music. His mother was really interesting, a little side thing. Back then, we used typewriters. Well, I used a pencil, but you used typewriters. Well, if you made a mistake with the typewriter, you couldn't change it, right? So his mother invented something called whiteout, which was white stuff. You painted it on the mistake, and then you typed over it. She made zillions. That way he was able to live the life he wanted to live and be able to just do his thing. I give him credit, his whole family, right on. So Mike joins the Monkees, and they had some great music in those two albums, but they got really angry on the second album. Remember, I'm talking through a fan's perspective. We didn't have social media back then. But what I had understood was they didn't know the second album was coming out. They had no input in it, and it just went out. And they just got really angry. Remember, like I said, back then, Summer of Love, the hippies, everybody was doing their own thing. Do your own thing, right? So they wanted to do their own thing. So they stood up and went out on their own, essentially. Got rid of their producer after just owning the charts, and came out with a video, a movie called Head, which was psychedelia-like. It was very psychedelic. Music was kind of okay. I listened to it the other day just to hear it again, and it was not bad. Now, of course, I've been listening since Mike died today, and it's okay. But what they did was they threw away their celebrity to try to do something different. I give him a lot of credit for that. I don't think Davey was too happy about it. Then as time went on, Mike left and started his own band, the First National Band. He was a country guy. He loved country music. I mean, the first song he wrote was a different drum, which was covered by Linda Ronstadt. You and I travel to the beat of a different drum. Sorry, I didn't come here to listen to me sing. But that song was really big. If you listen to his version, it was really country. So when he left the Monkees, he had his own country band, the First National Band, all this stuff before all the country guys. Music was okay. I'm not into country, but it sure was rocking before a lot of the other guys you hear about, the Eagles, all these others. And he just kept going. Then he produced videos which actually helped start MTV. Not only the Monkees MTV, he had his own company. He put his stuff out and did it. Then he had a video company. He was always experimenting and always doing different things. And he went out on the road after Davey died. I think it was the 90s. I saw them in the 80s without Mike, but saw them with Davey. And they went out on the road and they toured. This music is great. When I tell you to listen to it, I say great, I mean great as to just hit-making music. Not something new that blew the world out. Just hit-making music and some of the head music. Listen to it. Excellent. We only have one person left here. Mickey. What can I tell you? Rock and roll soothes the savage soul. Peace.